Show. Always Irish Show. Always Irish Show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, buddy, that's right. Who's coming? Who's going? Who knows? Who's coming? Who's going? Why are they coming and going? Why is one guy coming and going and the other guy isn't coming and going? I don't know. Why are the days right after the season ends more exciting to follow than the last 2 weeks where we had actual games? I don't know. It's just wild. I don't. It shouldn't be this way. Really, you guys, I'm sitting here. It shouldn't be this way. Where the days after the season ends have more drama to them than the last few weeks of the season. This ain't how it's supposed to be. So as we get into all this and start breaking down all this, understand that. It just shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way, man. On the field should be like that. That should be where all the excitement's coming from as you wind down the year. Oh, God, there's a lot to break down. There's a lot to wonder. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot of rumors to know. I don't know. Welcome in, welcome back to we got a lot of moving parts edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here. You can find a program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you alerted every time. I don't know what to call it. Every time there's a new rumor. Every time there's a fresh tweet. Every time... These are wild times. These are wild times. Okay, Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it. The call-in lines 312-988-15. You call it, tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Instagram, Facebook, all that. Always Irish Inc. I mean, USA Today, Fighting Irish Wire is where I write about stuff. Read it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Former captain, leading tackler, I might add, Mike Goolsby and myself breaking down all Notre Dame things. Also, around the holiday seasons. Oh, I don't know. What am I going to get, Dad? What am I going to do? Oh, I know. Go over here to NDSubwayAlumni.com. Get yourself a Shotsky that is Lou Holtz themed. It's a Lewski. Get yourself a Lewski. They got t-shirts. They got all sorts of stuff. So make sure you head over there. Support them. That's a cause I believe in with the Subway alumni. And we all know what they mean to Notre Dame fandom and have meant over the years. Notre Dame is not what it is without the Subway alums all over the country, all over the world. So support them. Link in the description. Go to ndsubwayalumni.com. Get yourself a Lewski. Get yourself a t-shirt, somebody you love for Christmas. Get them some Notre Dame stuff. Okay. Look at the phone lines. This is going to be one of those days, and I'm here for it. Let's bring this up first. This is interesting. I trust Freeman. I trust the process. Maybe after all of this, the nuance of who's coming, who's going, what players should come and go, what coaches should come and go, is the right one coming and go, all of that, whatever all that is. Ultimately, don't you got to default to, we don't know all the information, you got to let Freeman make some decisions? Right? Like, the more I think about this, the more last night that I'm sitting there going, how do I make this all make sense? Callers, I'll get right to you. I want your opinion on all this. And I'm going, how does this all make sense? Where does this all tie in? Like the offense coordinator piece and the wide receiver piece and everything in that initial press conference Monday. And in my video yesterday, I said there was a lot of nuance in wiggle room in kind of what Freeman said about like wanting everybody. There was something about it that felt to me like there was wiggle room there and not finality. And that everybody can't take these press conferences as gospel. No, I keep saying this and no one wants to hear it. A part of being a college football coach is lying on the podium. It's just a requirement. It isn't, you have no morals, you're lying to the public. I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter if it's Notre Dame or anywhere else. A part of the job is to not tell the truth in a press conference, to protect the operation. Nobody ever wants to hear that. They want to think this is Notre Dame and that pulpit is like a priest's pulpit and you got to tell the truth under the Lord. No, doesn't matter if it's Notre Dame or anywhere else. Those guys aren't truthful because they can't be with certain things they got to protect. But the media has an obligation to ask. So you try and thread the needle to get through it. We went from, I kind of want all the assistants to come back. 22 hours later, he fired one. Don't take these press conferences literally. That's one thing you all should have learned 80 years ago. And I don't understand why people foam at the mouth every time Freeman speaks. He can't just tell the truth up there. So you went from all the reaction to him saying, oh, he wanted all of his guys to come back. Now they're gone. 22 hours later, he fires a guy. Okay. And so that tells you how truthful those pressers are. And again, I cannot be more clear about this. That is not an indictment of his character. That does not impugn Freeman's integrity. It is a part of the job to not tell the truth in the press conferences. People have trouble understanding that with Notre Dame. It's like Notre Dame's different. He would never say something he didn't mean. Yeah, he would. He has to a lot of times. So then I know there's people talking about what caused the Stuckey thing. And there's rumors and this and that. It wasn't that. Hey, whatever the truth is behind the scenes, Freeman has made the decision. He's got to make a change. Doesn't like what's going on. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't see all the stuff going on. I don't know. So don't you ultimately have to default to trusting Freeman? What's your other option? Not trust him and question everything, but I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. And we don't know all the information, and that's the hard thing. I saw all the tweets coming out that said, how does it make sense that you're going to get rid of, you're missing the entire point, Paul. You're missing the entire point, Paul. I just got done saying none of this impugns the integrity of the head coach. It's a part of the job. That's not bad mouthing. You're not listening. I couldn't have been more clear. It's not bad mouthing. It's the job. It's the job. There is no bad mouthing. I'm saying everybody should get over these things because it's the job. I'm not bad mouthing the guy at all. In fact, when he got up there and had to spin the truth after Ludwig, I said I respected him more, not less, for how good of a job he did it. There is no bad mouthing. Notre Dame fans need to accept that when he's talking up there, he has to protect a bunch of shit going on we don't see behind the scenes. There is no bad mouthing. I'm explaining that that's a part of the job. I'm not bad mouthing him at all. That's the job. I saw the tweets saying, how are you going to tell me Stuckey's not doing a good enough job, but then you're going to tell me Parker is? Like, how can you make that make sense? You can make any of it make sense if you want. When you got 39 points a game average, I feel like there's leeway there. You could say what you could make what you want to make work or not when you have 39 points a game. And then you get into the nuance and you see the struggles against the good teams, and then it gets trickier and trickier to decide where's what. So I don't know where this leaves you. Are we done here? Or is there going to be more changes? I've even heard that. I don't know this. I know this is a rumor. Multiple people have suggested to me behind the scenes, is this a situation where you get rid of the wide receiver guy because Freeman knows who he wants to bring in as OC and he wants to bring his own wide receiver guy, but they can't do the deal yet? I've even heard that. And I have no idea. I have no way to verify that. Nothing. But multiple people have said to me, is anybody considering that that's a possibility, but it won't be till after the bowl game or something? That maybe that's a move that's still floating around? I have no idea. But ultimately, when you don't know everything behind the scenes, you got to kind of default to what the head coach feels is most appropriate. But we're in a place where some of the fan base is iffy on Marcus Freeman right now on trusting him and stuff. Some people are fully on board and whatever. Some people are going, I don't know. He's got to tighten things up. And so I don't know. I don't know the reality, but I have had a ton of people saying to me, I got a feeling this might not be done. And you open up that wide receiver thing to make it so that if the OC that he wants comes in here, there's a spot right there for the wide receiver guy to come with him. I don't know if there's anything to that, but a lot of people are suggesting that. I have no idea. And so I just, and I understand the other part of this, and I already had a debate about it. Stuckey inherited a bad deal. Okay? He inherited a bad deal. I said when Stuckey got the job his first year, I said he's got the hardest assistant coaching job on the team because he doesn't have what you should have to work with in the wide receiver room. And I said, this is going to be an uphill battle and the spotlight's going to be on him. And there's not a lot of raw material to work with. And I felt that he was in a bad spot. Apparently, I don't think it's a debate he inherited a bad spot. And so then it's a matter of the development and what was going on there with that and like making it all work with what you had. And like, I don't know. And there's all these rumors about like the interpersonal way things were going behind the scenes. Like there's so much that goes on in a football season with these teams that we don't know. We're not privy to. And it's none of our damn business. It's none of our damn business. Okay. And it's just, it's tricky. I don't, multiple sources, he alienated guy. There's communication problem. I don't know. But it's just, we don't know what we don't know. And so then I think you just have to default to be like Marcus has a vision and you got to let him navigate through it. It's just really hard to tell the scoreboard on all this when you don't know all the details. And it's hard for me to come up here and speak with finality about things when I don't know those details and I'm not in those meetings and I didn't see those problems. I don't know. And let's look, I'm just going to say, because I had people telling me, John's going to go lean on that lie that Kelly didn't left the cupboard bare. 2022 class, you signed one wide receiver. Okay, Kelly's last year going into Freeman's first, one wide receiver. That is a criminal offense. Like, you should be arrested. You should be imprisoned. One body in a wide receiver class. One guy. That is criminal football activity that breaks the legs of your program. Like that's not even on earth. That's not even the real world to sign one body at wide receiver in a full recruiting class to the University of Notre Dame. One wide receiver. Unbelievable. You should be arrested and you should have a felony mark that follows you around your whole life. For football malfeasance. One body. Okay. Go back to 21. That's 22. Go back to 21. Johnson, bust. Watts, great defensive player. Brunel, never heard of him. So anybody saying that there was enough bodies and good enough bodies to run a real wide receiver situation, I don't think there was. You should be looking at 8, 9 guys combined for those two classes to see who develops, who's a star, who's a role player, who needs to change positions, who needs to change schools. One wide receiver in one class, and then a bust, a defensive guy, and a bust. Nobody's telling me that the Freeman regime inherited a representative wide receiver room. It's just not true. It's not true. The numbers here say it's not true. You don't recruit one wide receiver in a whole class. One. You get one receiver, and you're going to tell me that the Freeman regime had a full cupboard to work with? You're out of your mind. Now, see, here we are. Luke Holtz. One thing John likes to yell is Kelly didn't recruit wide receivers and left the cupboard bare. Simply not true. I just proved to you it's true. Plenty of receivers were on the roster, but either switched positions, transferred, or busted. Guess what that means? You did a bad job. If you got, I already went over the low numbers. But then if you want to tell me that there were wide receivers, but they switched position, transferred, or busted, you doing a bad job? If you're recruiting guys that can't even play the position or they busted. That being said, if we get past that, I don't know the details of what Freeman was looking for in terms of development, the relationships, all of that, blending in with the whole offense, how they all work together, helping Hartman out. I don't know about all that. He apparently didn't like what he was seeing. And if he doesn't like what he's seeing, he's going to do what he has to do. Here in the wide receiver room was toxic, locker room issues. Again, that's something Notre Dame fans, I just think, don't want to think about it. You don't want to think about that stuff. You think Notre Dame, we're all on the same page. We all have the same mission. We all get along. Like it's no, you don't, Notre Dame fans think of like Texas A&M having locker room issues, the way they paid for players and all that. Like, when you think about that part of it, it comes from that end a lot more. It's like, oh yeah, Texas A&M, I get why they have issues in the locker or whatever. You don't want to think Notre Dame has these little issues going on. But you never know what's going on. You never know. I'm not in there. I don't know. There was plenty of talent in there to work with. I just showed you there was not. I literally just showed you there was not. You do not get to sign one wide receiver in a full recruiting class and tell me that that is enough. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You can't do that. You can't. But if you want to talk about what happened once we were there and the development or lack thereof, and the relationships, then I don't know that information. That's behind the walls of the locker room, and it's none of my damn business. None of my business. But ultimately, when I come down to this, you got to default to trust Freeman's vision and what he wants to do, even if it doesn't make sense to some people. That has to be the default because there's nothing else you could do when you don't know all the information. Right? Like, John, you're missing the argument, I think. There's talent in the wide receiver room, just not enough depth. There's not enough both. Get real. There's not enough both. There's not enough both. There isn't. There's not enough both. Who's your number one wide receiver go-to guy right now? Is it the former running back who no longer is here, or is it the lacrosse guy? Who's it going to be next year? A fencing guy? A band member? Who's it going to be next year? These are not real-world problems to have. These are not big boy football program problems to have. They're not. The mere fact, I can't believe I'm having this argument. Listen. Give me a second. You cannot tell me the wide receiver room has enough when you were relying on freshmen and a walk-on lacrosse guy to make all the plays this year. The baseline that we're starting from, with that is our reality, proves you don't have what you need. It's that discussion over. Next. Think about it. You ended up having to rely on freshmen and a walk-on from a different sport this year. I don't get how anybody could tell me that was in a good place. No top-line program relies on freshmen to get through the year. You don't. You don't. I hate how exciting this conversation is. So much more like meat on the bone and has people interested than the last 2 weeks of actual games. God, that's sad. I hate that. Chief, Michigan's doing more in the past game with less talent. Yeah, I know. Oh, man coverage? Where's the man beater? Oh, man. And you know what else, too? A lot of that noise died down. I don't see the Ohio State people on Twitter pushing the Michigan thing anymore. They don't have a leg to stand on after Ryan Day peed down his leg. Michigan got in Ryan Day's head. That dude folded like a cheap lawn chair, played scared, called the game scared, played conservative. They got in his head and they took care of business, man. They took care of business. I'm just saying, multiple things can be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Stuckey didn't inherit a good situation, and maybe he didn't do a good enough job of navigating the situation he had. Both can be true. Like, maybe that's the answer. Very simple. Maybe that's the answer. Gipper, why don't you let me run my own show the way I want to run my own show? Why don't I talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, however long I want to talk about? I'm not here just to do whatever you want on your schedule. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about, and I'll do it as long as I please. Idiot. Timeout, just like a 4-year-old. We're going in timeout. Seriously, dude, get a grip of your life. We're here talking Notre Dame football, and you're spamming me this shit. Like, it's seriously, I have to put adults in a timeout. That's what we're doing. Like, that's where this is all devolved to in Notre Dame land. I have to put adults literally in an adult timeout on the internet so that you could get a grip. It's unbelievable, some of the situations we find ourselves in. And then I'm going to go to the callers, see what you think about all this. But I didn't even mention really the Tyree thing. What is the rumor you're hearing on the boards about Tyree? Wants to go where he could catch more balls or what? He was your number. You want to talk about there's enough in the wide receiver room. Well, who is the most reliable guy back there long term? The guy that's leaving. And then who? The lacrosse guy or the freshman? See what I mean when I say it isn't good enough? None of these are ideal situations. To me, the guy that made the most actual plays is now leaving. The guy that caused the most excitement was on scholarship for another sport. And then you have the young guys whose hamstrings were falling off all year. Not an ideal situation. I'm not knocking the lacrosse guy. I love the lacrosse guy. But everything in Notre Dame land is so nuanced. Everything in Notre Dame land is so nuanced that it makes you lose your mind. This is a great example, Dr. John. I love the lacrosse guy. That guy's got wiggle. That guy's got a different gear to him when he has the ball, and you see Faison running. He has something. He just has a little bit of that it factor that you love. And that's great. And I'm happy that he's getting an opportunity and that he's emerged and that he's going to be a part of the team moving forward. I love all that. However, the way he got his opportunity is because of our failure in that area. Both can be true. I'm thrilled Faison is doing this. And I want to acknowledge that if Notre Dame had a real world wide receiver room, I'm not sure that he would, because he wouldn't have made it up the depth chart enough to even be out there. That's the nuance. Both could be true. I love what Faison's doing. I hate what put him in position to be able to do it. Does that make sense? Like, I like what he's doing. I'm mad that he got the chance to, because it means the wide receiver room's not in a good place. It means you needed a body. Nothing in Notre Dame land is ever straightforward. And now we're in a position where I don't know who else is going to come and go. I don't know what other coaches are coming and go. I don't know. You got to just default to the coach. I don't know how else to think about it. Crying Ryan Day, born on third base. Maybe we could agree on that one. If the guy was born on third base, he hasn't even taken a 1 foot lead off of third base to get down the line. If he was born on third base, he's standing right on it still, and he hasn't even taken a lead. Born on third base. If he is, he hasn't taken a step off of it. There's something to that. When Harbaugh, Jesus, I'm about to give Harbaugh credit for something here. My body's seasoned. We talking about that guy born on third base? He hasn't won a damn thing since all that. Michigan's in that guy's head. Michigan's in that guy's head. He called that game so timid. It was offensive. He called that game so timid. He played that game not to lose it, not to go win it. Man. And on the other side, you got Sherrod Moore just dialing shit up. You know, the little flip back pass over to the tie. They were dialing everything up, being aggressive, 3 for 3 on 4th downs. I love it. I love it, man. Sherrod Moore's going to be a head coach. I know this is Michigan and I got to hate him, and I do, but I got to be honest about what I see. Sherrod Moore's going to be a head coach. And he's young and he's modern and he has a relationship with younger guys. I like it. I like his energy on the sideline. I like everything about Sherrod Moore. I really do. And you know what? The best thing is, John, I was on your side, dude. I can't tell who's for me or against me anymore. It's been a long year in this dungeon basement. What I was going to say is, this might be the best thing that's ever happened to Sherrod Moore in his life, them getting in trouble. Because then he gets to highlight his coaching, whatever. It might be the best thing ever for that guy personally, that they got into this trouble and he's been able to do this. Doing a really good job. Doing a good job. Hartline needs to realize Ryan Day's a control freak and leave his ass. I don't know, man. Will Hartline do that, or is he loyal to OSU because that's his home? I don't know that. But I do know that he's a hell of a recruiter. And I know that they always got good wide receivers. Why are people saying Buckner's coming back? We're going to do that up and dial that up again. 1 year vacation to Alabama, and then he comes home. Is that what we're doing? I love it. Oh, man. Dr. John, help me make sense of what's going on, please.
Hey, good morning.
Dr. John, there's a lot of moving parts, my friend. There's a lot of moving parts, and it's just hard for a Notre Dame fan to wrap their mind around everything that's going on and understanding why and understanding there's things behind the scenes that we're not privy to. Where are you at in regards to all these dynamics that have Notre Dame fans aflutter today?
Okay, well, I'll get into that, but first we need to find out if you've researched the Rocky Mountain oyster question.
Oh, no, I did not.
Well, They are bull testicles, John.
Say what now?
It's meat.
Oh, wait a second. Come on. I thought we were talking
They're
about
the testicles of bulls.
I thought we were talking about those things in the shell by the creek that they crack open and it has that membrane in it. Isn't that an oyster or whatever?
No, well, I don't know. That's probably a clam, but you're a meat person, so you ought to enjoy those.
I mean, maybe could somebody just tell me it's a hamburger, like hamburger meat instead? I feel like I'll be more open to it.
It pretty much is. Pretty much is.
I mean,
in Montana.
But what is it, like a softball
in
size?
Montana, you can't.
What is it? How big is it? How big is it?
In Montana, a man can't get a driver's license. He has to sign an affidavit that he's actually had some.
Wow. Man, that's
okay.
certainly
Let's move on.
Yeah, certainly a delicacy. I would like my testicle well done with barbecue sauce, please.
Yeah, normally they are. So anyway, let's move on to Notre Dame.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's John, that's a transition that's never happened before, from testicles to Notre Dame. Oh my God. What are we doing, man? We're all over the map, brother. We're all over the map.
Testicles to testament. How's that?
There you go. Yeah. Draw that line. Oh my God, that's funny. Deep fried testicles for two. Well, anyways, all right. I'm done thinking about fried nuts. Let's talk about football.
Okay. Maybe you can get Amazon to ship you a couple.
I'm going to be careful what I type into Google for that one, John. I'm scared of what I'm going to get in the search results, buddy.
All right. I've got another TR word written down here, and that's trust.
Yeah.
Are we going to trust Freeman to do what he thinks is right? Yep. That's the bottom line for me.
John, that's what has people nervous. Because I feel like if you had a coach with more body of work or built up credibility on the field over a period of time longer than what Freeman has and what he's accomplished, I think more people would be open to that. But when there's already certain segments of the group that already have Freeman questions and they don't know if they trust him fully and all that, then that breeds more insecurity, because you want to say default to the coach's judgment, but there's a bunch of people in the fan base that don't know if they trust coach's judgment. That's how you end up in this morning's situation.
Well, when I look back on when Freeman was hired, I mean, we're thinking at that point, you got to give him more than 2 years to prove himself. Shouldn't Parker get the same break?
Well, I just think there's a lot of differences there, though, John. One guy's in a position of power more than the other one. So right there's already like that issue, because Freeman has more power and he's the head guy, and so he has more control of it. So I don't think you could say that's automatic. He's got to make the decision in the moment that he wants to make.
Well, again, I go back to the word trust. As far as Parker's concerned, I think we need to trust Freeman's judgment here. Do we know more about the situation than Freeman does?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to default to, because there's no other way. John, I spent a lot of time yesterday thinking about this. I had a long drive, and I was just playing it in my mind. How does this all make sense? That and the final answer was, you just got to trust Freeman has a vision. He doesn't like what he was seeing, and he feels like he needs to do something. I don't know how else you could look at it. You just got to default to that, because I don't know all those. I wasn't in the locker room, John, for all this stuff people are saying, the rumors, what was happening with wide receivers and and there was some toxicity there, and everybody wasn't on the same page, and it ended up holding Hartman back and the whole offense. I don't know all that. I don't know all that. I don't know those dynamics. But then you're asking people to default to trust a coach that a lot of the fan base doesn't have trust for right now. And that's how you end up in a weird situation.
Well, I can't say the adjective I'd say to the fan base right now. Although I don't know that Cotter's on the thread, so he probably couldn't give me a timeout. But anyway,
yeah, but
the fan base is won and lost. If you win 12 games, the fan base is behind you. You lose 2 games, and you're in trouble with the fan base.
Yeah.
I know, because I've been there for a long time, John.
Yeah, you've seen it. You've been around.
Yeah.
I just think,
but anyway,
dude, John.
Yeah.
Freeman went from Monday. He went from saying, "I want all the guys to come back," whatever, and then all of the Twitter and everything online was he doesn't have the balls to make a change. He doesn't see that the offense isn't good enough against good team. And he's too big of a coward to make a change. And then 22 hours later, he makes a change, but then nobody knows if it was on the right guy or should it be the only change. Like that's how fast things are moving here, man. One day at a time, you don't know what you're going to get. And I don't know if Freeman has more up his sleeve. I don't know if this is it. I don't know. And I don't know all those rumors coming out about the wide receiver situation. I wasn't in the locker room. I don't know if any of those are true. I can't verify it. I don't know.
Well, we've said this before. Twitter is not the real world.
Man, I'm glad, because if it is, I'm scared. And I mean, I'm a part of that nightmare. Trust me, if it's a representation of the real world, yeah. I'm scared because it's wild out there. And anybody could just say anything and it just takes off. It's wild.
Something I need to research. I've always thought, and I said this to you, that Freeman to me is more like Eric Parsegian than any other coach we've had.
Oh, that's interesting
just
to me.
From a demeanor and character standpoint.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to describe the overlap, and you see it in the way that he delivers and does that. Yeah, I get that.
Well. Yeah, what I need to research is go through Parsegian's career, just photos of him, and see at what point his hair turned gray.
Yeah, and he had that good head of hair too, man. When it turns gray, it's really obvious on that guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
Dr. John, I
wonder how long. What?
I don't know where
I wonder how long Freeman can keep his hair the color it is.
Oh, man. That guy, I'm telling you, being the Notre Dame coach will age you worse than being a 2-term president, man. I'm telling you, president, Yankee manager, Notre Dame coach. Those are the 3 that'll wear you out, put you in the senior home early. Oh,
yeah, I'm afraid so.
Dr. John, I don't like
this.
I don't like this, Dr. John. I don't like that there's all this excitement now after the season about all this drama than there was the last half a month of the actual games. That's sad to me. I don't think that doesn't feel right to me, that people are more engaged now than they were the last 2 weeks when we were actually playing. But that's the way this all goes.
Well, your show thrives on drama.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying I don't benefit from it. I'm not saying I don't benefit from it, but I wish there was no drama and Notre Dame was heading to the playoff. Like I would give that up because we would do good numbers then too, but for good reasons.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Say, before I turn you loose, have you heard from Joe in California lately? Maybe I've just missed it, but I haven't heard his voice for a while.
I have not, and I emailed him about it. Maybe I'll email you, because I thought the same thing, that I hadn't heard and seen from him, so I reached out to him. maybe I'll shoot you a quick message about that interaction.
Okay, because I think of anybody that calls, he is the most level-headed guy and seems to have his nose into things that make a lot of sense. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just enjoy his analysis of things, and would love to hear him back on the show.
Yep, I agree with you. I'll shoot you an email about that later, John. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Okay, you have a great show. Oh, by the way, I need to clear another thing up. I don't have any kids in Illinois.
I thought you said you had family in like not Naperville, somewhere up there in the suburbs.
No, where the confusion is, when my middle daughter moved to Montana and we still went to the Notre Dame game, she always flew into Chicago and then flew out on Monday morning. Which meant we were always staying in Schaumburg.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's why it made sense to get lunch there one day before you guys head out. I got you now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And with these three daughters, everything becomes a tradition.
Yeah.
So now we're in Schaumburg, whether we have to be or not.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Thanks for the clarification. Gotcha.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, bud. You have a great show. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. See ya later.
Okay, bud.
See ya.
Yep.
Oh, Dr. John. Always good to talk to Dr. John. Yeah, did you see this? Bobby Petrino returning back to Arkansas as OC. I need that dude to pull in on that motorcycle with that girl on the back with the neck brace. He pulls into town. I'm ready to go. Oh my God. Look at this. I got to ask this. Somebody asked to tell me, this is it, Chief. My entire life, Sean, I'll get you. I've been asking this. Why can't Notre Dame run quick slants like every other team does, where your offensive guy running a slant has the inside leverage over the middle, catches the ball in stride, and then runs? Why? I see every other team do it 80 times in a game, and it usually always works because on a quick slant, the receiver has the inside leverage because he's slanting so quick. There's usually never anybody jumping the route in the middle off that. My whole life, I've seen quick slants on like 3rd and medium, 3rd and 6 over the middle. Get a guy in stride. I see every other team do it 5 times a game. Notre Dame never does it. Never does it. I can't understand. It feels like it's a low pressure thing because you have the inside leverage, and it's just, it seems to be a high percentage throw. Everybody else uses it on us on 3rd and medium. But for some reason, Notre Dame can't run that play like every other team in America that doesn't have as good players as we do. I don't know. Or an O-line. Why can't Notre Dame just do normal big boy football activity? Why? Like, why can't Notre Dame just do normal football shit? What's up, 937? Don't want to keep you from your meeting.
Oh, thank you so much, John. It's your favorite Buckeye fan. Hey, I just want to apologize to all of Notre Dame Nation that we have a terrible coach who doesn't understand that you need an actual quarterback to beat Michigan. So I know that what you've been saying, John, has been basically spot on. I will say, from what I've heard from a bunch of analysts on the beat, that Kyle McCord he missed so many people that were wide open down the field. So Oh my gosh, it's been a nightmare for me for the last
I
3 or 4
bet.
days.
You know what I was thinking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
man? Here's what I was thinking about. I was thinking when I looked back at the Notre Dame Ohio State game, and you sit there and you go, and
yeah.
as a Notre Dame guy, you sit there and you see like 15 different moments in that game where if one thing goes differently, it changes the dynamic of the whole thing. And it ended up, you guys ended up getting all those, and we didn't make any of those coaching or playing moves you needed to make to give it a chance to change it. I kind of felt that way about this game. There were so many things that just broke that way. And if any of them break the other way, it might have been different, but it didn't, man. Everything Michigan did seemed to
You know,
work. Everything 3 for 3
yeah,
on
it was.
3 for 3 on fourth downs. Like that is a home run in
Yeah,
a rivalry game. 3 for 3 on that. They weren't turning the ball over. They got, the trick play, pitch back work for everything. The interception that was a touchdown intercept, like it just all worked out for them. It all worked out.
it basically was the Notre Dame game, and the big difference. There was 2 differences: those fourth downs, and then the other difference was at the end of the game, Michigan was able to get 3-4 yards of carry, and get those last field goal points to make it a 6-point game instead of just being up by a field goal. So, and
dude,
running the clock.
Listen, man, there's nothing anybody could tell me that doesn't make me think Ryan Day coached that game kind of timid. He coached that game kind of timid. And I don't know.
Oh, I agree.
Do you think it was because he had worries about McCord? If he let it loose, I don't know, but I just felt like the decision making and everything was kind of timid. I thought he could have went for that fourth down early on the other side of the 50. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that McCord threw such a terrible interception at the beginning of the game, and then it tightened them up. But I'll say this about Ryan Day: Ryan Day needs to stop doing the stupid dancing. And the team needs to stop acting like idiots in this game. I don't care about any other game. Do what the hell you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
But in this game, it's business. I can't picture Woody Hayes, even Earl Bruce.
Woody Hayes.
Or
could you imagine it?
I can't picture any of them dancing before the game. Dance after the win, dummies.
Yeah. There is something to be said. I've been seeing a lot of the former Ohio State players saying they do not feel like all the Ohio State people are taking this as seriously and as personal as they did, and it's rubbing them the wrong way. I don't know whether that's accurate or not, but that, that's kind of where we're at.
I kind of agree. There's on the coach as far as the team. I agree with that. And the biggest thing is that if you look at Jim Trussell, if you look at Urban, you look at what Harbaugh and his team has done the last 3 years. They save a couple plays every year just for this game.
Yeah.
That halfback pass.
Yeah, and they hit it too.
Week.
And they hit it.
They had a couple of jump passes the year before. Like every year for the last couple of years, Michigan's had a play here or there that is a trick play. And like we used to do that, especially under Trussell. We would have one trick play if it was a close game that we never ran before.
Yeah.
And we just Dave doesn't have that. And it's like he's not coaching this game correctly. The other thing is defensively. Oh my gosh, we played base defense like the entire game. It was like our defensive coordinator, who's basically our head coach of the defense. He was tight as heck. I just don't get it. I don't get
it's
it.
very, very
But hey, I
frustrating.
wanted to just comment. I just wanted to comment really quick on the Stuckey situation. I am a little bit surprised by that, and I think the biggest thing that I'm surprised is that as far as recruiting, Stuckey for Notre Dame has been pretty gold. I mean, he's been gold for them.
That's
so,
what kind of makes you think there must have been more behind the scenes. Like when I think about it, that's what makes me think that there must be a lot going on behind the scenes that Freeman's very uncomfortable with, that the public doesn't know. And that is where I think you have no choice but to default to trust the head coach's judgment, because there must be more going on that wasn't all kosher behind the scenes.
How could you honestly grade Stuckey on not this year, but last year in 2022 season? He didn't even have a real quarterback to throwing his kids the ball. And then this year, he didn't even have a real offensive coordinator to draw up the plays for his kids. Man, so it has to be something different.
I think there's more information there that we're not privy to. There must be for that all to make sense in my mind, and it's none of my business.
Do you think he's going to go down to Texas A&M? Do you think he accepted that job or something like that?
I don't. Well, Freeman's. It seems like
caught word of it.
I don't know, because it doesn't seem like they amicably parted ways. It was Freeman's decision. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. The rumors
Maybe
are that
he wanted to stay through the bowl game, and Freeman's like, no, if you're going to leave,
I don't know. The rumor is there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So I'm not going to act like I know all those dynamics. I guess I got to default to Marcus that he's got to clean up what he thinks he needs to clean up, and we go from there. I don't know, man. It's just weird, wild times.
It is.
He'll be down. Somebody he'll be going to Clemson. He'll go reunite with Dabo down there at his home place. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot that's going to happen, I think, in the next few days. And this transfer portal stuff, it's already heating up. I mean, it's crazy. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
So, hey, real quick, who do you want to win this whole thing, I guess, at this point?
Not Michigan. Anybody but Michigan. I don't care. It could be, I do not care anybody but them. It doesn't matter. It could be anybody else. In any given year, man, it can't be Michigan. It can't be Kelly, and it can't be USC. And as long as I get those, then I don't care who else.
I would love it to where if Alabama beats Georgia, but Texas wins, and let's say Washington wins, then the SEC, it's going to be SEC list. I love that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be wild. And so it's going to be really interesting. It's just anybody but Michigan, baby. That's where my mind's at.
Well, I'll let you go. I got to go run to a meeting, but it's great listening to. Oh, real quick, I want to say one thing. Guys, get out there. If you're a Notre Dame fan, I'm going to buy a couple of things for my Notre Dame fans and my family for Christmas. Get out there, buy the stuff from John. He's got that merch shop. Help him out. And also, hey, I sent you an email. I'd love to send you a Christmas.
I did see that. I'll get back to you. I'll give you my hidden address. I'm not sure I need all the Ohio State people knowing where I live. I'll send you a proxy. How about that?
No, that's fine.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll hit you back. That was very thoughtful. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one. I'm telling you, everybody wants to shit on the Ohio State guy. Colin, the guy's the nicest guy in the world. He wants to send John a Christmas card for Pete's Dragon. Give me a break. Like, I get how people are. I only want to worry about Notre Dame. Screw this guy. He's too nice to not like. Trust me, I want to not like everybody. He's too nice to not like. The guy emails me. Oh, John, I want to send you some Christmas stuff. Tex ND. Will everybody be okay with 9-3 next year, bro? Come. No. No, 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 no. People are going to lose their shit if you go 9-3 next year. People are going to lose it. That means if you're 9-3, that means you're out of the first playoff when it expands to 12. Ooh, you got problems. Ain't nobody here for that in year 3, bro. Count them. 1, 2, 3. years. You can't have no 9-3. You're going to miss you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Okay. 9-3 is no. You got to make the first play. The way this year flamed out, you got to be in that first playoff next year, and that means you got to go 10-2. Here's the other problem. Right back to the callers, 618 and 405. I'm getting to you both very shortly. Here's how I see this going, and it would be the most Notre Dame. Next year's schedule is not like Michigan's schedule. Like, no, it isn't that. No schedule where you start out at Texas A&M on the road right off the bat. It's nothing like a Michigan schedule, okay? So, let's be real about it. Cargill's saying next year's schedule is like Michigan's. They had 8 games against nobody before they faced a team that had any actual talent on it. They played 2 months of games before playing any talent whatsoever. So it ain't like that. You're starting out in the road in the SEC against the Mike Elko defense. Okay. Imagine this, Notre Dame people. You want to talk about Notre Dame people losing their minds? Follow me here. If you're driving, you might drive off the road. Tell me this is not the most Notre Dame scenario you've ever heard. You played there week 1. Now they got Mike Elko, and I know they have good athletes. They're a mess because Jimbo is one of the worst actual functioning coaches in America. He's one of the worst. Snake oil salesman, kind of slimy recruiter, talent accumulator is his role, not coaching. Imagine this, if you will. You get in a situation where you go there and face a Mike Elko defense week 1 after all the offensive stress. And should Parker leave? Now you got Stuckey's leaving, but maybe Parker's staying. I'm still not convinced that's all over. Wait till after the bowl game. So you have all that, and we know we need to get better. Freeman said Monday, I know against the better teams, we got to figure out how to score more points. So he's aware of the issue, obviously. Smart guy, all that. But, dude, imagine if you go to Texas A&M and this offense puts up like 10 points or 14 points. Just imagine the reaction. You have all the offseason buildup and excitement into the new year and the new season, and it's a clean slate. And we're all able to kind of wash away this year and look for, and it's a clean slate. If you somehow go down there and score 10 or 14 points or something, oh my God, you're pouring gas on a fire and it's going to last all year. If that's how this goes and you bring Parker back and we have a whole offseason and all that, and then you go and whatever quarterback you're going to get out of the portal and whatever we do, if you go in there and you play offense the way we have against any team with talent so far, it's going to be awful. It is going to be gasoline dumped on that fire, and it's just going to burn all year. You can't do it. That game is so big right now. Right now. Big deal. So I don't know. It's going to be wild. John, there's no returning impact players. They'll be lucky to score 14 against Elko's defense. Everything would be on fire all year. I really don't want that. Everything would be bad all year. It would just be the worst way to start. Wait a second. Jay Frost, I don't think Parker leaving would hurt us. So, I mean, that's kind of the idea, is that it would help you. I know. That would be. I don't think Parker leaving would hurt us. That's kind of the point. Oh my God. Oh. Let's see. Parker isn't going anywhere. Freeman knows it was his fault too with the game plan. He wanted the big games having a conservative game plan. That's not going right back to the calls, I promise. That's another major issue I have is, and tell me if you guys agree, that's another issue I had. Tex ND, we have a good chance of losing all away games. Is that not the truest shit I've ever heard, bro? This team cannot play on the road. They cannot play good football out of the gate on the road. They refuse to do it. They won't do it. They don't know how to do it. They can't do it. It doesn't happen. I don't know why. They don't play good on the road, and I hate it. They just don't. They start bad on the road every single road game. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Explain it to me. Somebody tell me how that could be. And here's the other weird part about it. If every road game was against great teams, you could be like, well, you're going on the road facing good teams in a tough environment. Who wouldn't struggle? Some of these teams aren't even good, and you go on the road and struggle and don't know how to start. And it's not a hostile environment. They don't have all this real-world momentum or anything. Why can't Notre Dame be in the right mindset to play good on the road? Why? And maybe that's a question for my Patreon partner, Goolsby. We're recording tonight. Maybe I need to make that a priority to him to go, as a player, explain to me the disconnect. Is it travel? Is it a mentality? Are they physically tired for being out of their routine? I don't know, but you need to figure it out because not every game is in front of the wine and cheese at home. And the other thing is, here's the other problem with that. Notre Dame often, not always, most of the time, they eventually wake up. Even if they start out sleepwalking on the road, they eventually wake up. But my question is, you can't start like shit, sleepwalking, dig yourself a hole in a road environment with the other team's fans there. You can't always dig back out of that. You're not going to. Sometimes that bad start's going to kill you. So I don't understand if it's a preparation, a mentality thing, a physical thing. But Freeman's got to address that. You play like shit on the road, and it's super disturbing. It's the worst thing that could happen. You sleepwalking into a road environment. You can't. The mentality needs to be, look at me like I know. I ain't no big shot college football player. Look at me. I'm a skeleton. Hang me up in a biology room and the students can look at what the bones are. But I'm just saying, the mentality I would have going to the road is, screw these people. I'm about to piss them off and ruin their day. F these people. I'm going into their place to ruin your day. Like there's never a situation where I could envision being like, oh my God, I don't want to go on the road and do it. No, you should be excited to go there and want to kill them. It should be a mentality of, we're going to go in there and kick the shit out of them in front of their people and ruin their year. And I want all their people and I want their mommies and daddies and all of them to see us do it. That's what I want. Michael Ursone. Petrino's a heck of an offensive mind. I know, but he's too busy doing them burnouts and wheelies. That picture, I'll never forget that picture of Bobby Petrino with the neck brace. He's got the road rash on his head. He's got the neck brace. Like, it looked like it was out of a skit. It was so funny. It looked like it was out of like a Saturday Night Live skit. Unbelievable. He had that girl riding around with him doing burnouts. Unbelievable. Will he be hard again? Personal problem. I can't answer that for you. $5 hour. Why did my forefathers curse me with this ND blood? I don't know, buddy, but you got it, and it's never going away, and we're all stuck in it together. One of these days, one of these years, it's got to come around full circle, and we're going to be able to do some of these shows when some good stuff happens, and we're all excited, and Notre Dame is elite, and Notre Dame's winning things that matter, and we can all celebrate it here together. That's my goal anyways. That's the high point of what I'm doing is that. That's what I dream about, is being able to actually pull this show up and do it live when things are good and we're winning and we're all proud and we're all happy and we can enjoy it together. I would love that. I really would. That's the dream. 405, make it come alive. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, John. How you doing?
Man, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. Nobody knows what to make of it all. Nobody has all the details. Who's coming, who's going, coaches, players, transfer portal. It's a wild time of the year, my friend.
Oh, but that's going to make the offseason go by a lot faster now.
Oh, man, they did the offseason with the transfer portal stuff now. Man, there is almost no offseason. There's the games, and then there's all the recruiting in the portal season. It's like it has its own life now. It's wild.
It's the truth.
It's wild,
it's the
man.
Truth. I can't tell if I like it or not, but I pay attention to it. I tell you that.
Yeah, it's just the game's changed so much, and it does hurt me though, man. I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it now. It does kind of bother me that there's more juice and excitement for these discussions than there was the last couple weeks of actual games. That is frustrating to me. I don't think it should be that way, that there's more interest in all this postseason drama than the actual games. But when you have 3 losses playing out the end of your schedule, that's what you're going to get. I find that frustrating. I don't blame the fans. I blame the results. But that is an undercurrent of frustration for me this week.
Gotcha. Well, so one of the reasons why I called, John, I've been listening to you for about 2 years, off and on. Every time I see your deal on YouTube, I'm like, I wonder what John's yelling about today.
Oh boy!
So I was like, heck, I'll just give him a call and tell him I enjoy the show and give him kind of my view on ways Notre Dame's going.
Well, hey, thank you for the kind words. What do you make of all this, man?
I'll tell you this, John. It is disappointing. 9-3 is not where I want to be. I watch so much Notre Dame throughout the week. I listen to the practice reports, all that. And then 9-3 is not where we should be. Not where I'm happy we are. But I tell you this, John, watching them play every week, that the talent on the team is better than what it was 3 years ago. I'll tell you that. And the way I'm sold on Marcus Freeman. Am I sold on the offensive coordinator? No. But if Marcus Freeman wants him back, I guess we'll see what he has to offer next year. And as far as next year goes, I understand we have a road problem. But last year we had a problem with Stanford at home and Marshall and Navy. And
it's a good problem, man. We switched problems. We gave up one and acquired another. Come on, man. We gave up losing to bad teams at home, and now we sleepwalk on the road. Can't we just have it all be good enough?
Well, I think it's getting fixed little by little. So hopefully year 3 under Marcus Freeman is a year where they have everything rolling and ready to go. But I'll tell you this, one of the things that scares me, John, when I get bored, I'll watch old games. And I watched the Wisconsin game back in, I think it was 21, Tosh Baker was our starting left tackle that game.
Yeah, didn't that have the big Tyree kickoff? That was that game, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was the big Tyree kickoff, and where Jack Cohn got sacked 5 times. I'm so scared of replacing Joe Alt. I am so scared that we're gonna have to replace two tackles. So if they can figure that part out, I think the offense will be good enough next year. If it improves from what it did this year, it'll be good enough to win a lot of games and figure out how we replace our boys on the defense.
Let me ask you this. In your opinion, for next year to be a success, is the limit for you 10-2 and being in the first expanded 12-team field? Like, is that the bar you think is reasonable for Freeman in year 3 to gauge a good year or not?
I will add something to that. Everything you said is correct. I want to host a home playoff game. Yeah. I don't want to just get in. I want South Bend or Notre Dame, Indiana to have a playoff game. And I cold December night, and whoever comes, whether it's a group of 5 team or LSU coming up to South Bend, Indiana, coming to play football. That's what I want. Yeah. That is the goal. 10-2, 11-1, host a home playoff game, and we're off and rolling.
Yeah.
And a winning season, like a great season for Marcus Freeman, when they're winning and they win a playoff game, the sky's the limit for that guy. And then we'll have to figure out how we keep him around, because the dude is a winner, and I think he's going to be a winner.
Yeah, I think a couple things with next year. Number one is historically what year 3 has been for Notre Dame coaches puts a lot of pressure on this year, because there has been a trend line of year 3 being that year where things click in Notre Dame for a lot of guys. You know, year 1, you're getting in there, figuring out what you're dealing with. Year 2 is your calibration. Year 3, you better go out and do something. So I think there's that historical pressure. And then the way this year went and felt, 10-2 or better and in the field next year is the line, and it's not going to move. I think that is fair, and I think that's right where it needs to be. You got to be 10-2 and in, and I think it's important that you stake your flag into this new 12-team playoff the first time it's available. I think it's important to be in that mix the first time they change all this. Get yourself in there early and establish yourself. I want to see it.
Well, amen. No, that is exactly the way I'm looking at it. And this bowl game is huge for it. We want to see the young guys play. I mean, I know Tyree's transferring. I'm going to miss him, but he got his degree. He can go off and play and hopefully get developed to be a good wide receiver. But the young guys, Faison and Greathouse and whoever's playing big end, you know, Burnham or Junior or whatever, they got to get a lot of playing time. And this 15 practices we have is just going to add more experience to these kids, that when they go to College Station next year, a lot of kids are going to be ready, and they'll be Marcus Freeman guys. And they're going to be athletic. They're going to be fast. John, watching Notre Dame, and I watched the Stanford game and the Wake Forest game, especially during the blowout times, and watching like Drake Bowen or Junior or them, they're so fast and they're long, and it's just like, man, these kids, it looks different. Now, I like Jack Kaiser and the linebackers that we have, but the young kids look like amazing. So that's about it. It's awesome where Notre Dame's headed.
Man, I like that kind of positivity. I think even the negative Notre Dame fans, glass half empty, don't want to buy into Freeman or whatever, you got to admit this team is getting longer, faster, more athletic overall. It is year over to year. It is. It's just kind of a matter of it all coming together to be the results we want on the field ultimately. But I don't think you could debate that we're not getting bigger, faster, stronger in a lot of places around. This team this year's way faster than Notre Dame teams have been, and like that's progress.
Yes. So, John, one question for you, and I'll get off and watch your show. But on the offensive side, how much blame goes onto the quarterback to the because of our struggle.
Do you want to
When I've
know?
been watching,
Do you want to know how many hours of sleep I lose a week asking myself that question?
no,
Hundreds.
And we can blame Parker.
I've lost hundreds of hours of sleep this fall trying to figure out how much of this offense when it doesn't go good is on Freeman. How much of it's on Parker? How much of it's on the wide receiver situation? How much of it's on Hartman? How much of it's on an interior line that didn't do good against any real defense? I don't know how to divide out the blame. It's been driving my airline sideways all fall.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. But when I watch the games, I really do see number 10 looks like number 10 from last year sometimes in the big game.
Man, it's just
it's
been frustrating.
So we've got to. I will say this: Gino Guidugli's gotta coach up whoever's the starting quarterback for next year, and we need him looking good and making the reads and get it because we have too many weapons not to be even more an explosive offense. I mean, when we had Tyree and Faison and Tobias and Greathouse, and you're going to add more people to that, that's going to be explosive.
Hey,
so,
Cam Williams. Cam Williams,
yeah,
right away.
Oh my goodness,
he's going to be an impact player right away. He's got to be.
No excuses.
He also tweeted that he's still all in on Notre Dame even after the wide receiver change. So if anybody was concerned about that, and I also believe it came out that he's going to early enroll. So it seems like everything's going to be fine with him.
So is CJ Carr. So it might be a 4-horse battle for that quarterback spot.
Yeah. It's going to be
just, whoever gives us the best chance to beat Texas A&M is going to be running onto the field. And then we have to wait and see what the bowl game situation is going to be like. If it's us and LSU, then this next month's going to be it's going to be a wild ride into a bowl game to see who has 4 losses. I don't know. It's going to be stupid. Do you want LSU?
I want LSU. I want LSU, not in these circumstances. I want LSU with elite on the line to be debated. I don't want LSU with 4 losses hanging there. I want LSU where they think Kelly's got them elite and we think Freeman's got us elite, and then we solve it on the field on the biggest stage. That's where I want LSU and Kelly. I don't want it with 4 losses on the line. That's a waste. That's a waste of this matchup to me when eliteness is not on the line.
Amen. And it's the ReliaQuest Bowl. I don't want to deal with the headaches of, Brian Kelly used to coach at Notre Dame to win the ReliaQuest Bowl. I want that to win a playoff game or the Peach Bowl. So that's all I care. It's like I want to play. If we're just gonna pick a football game, I want to play a football team, nameless, and it's just about Notre Dame getting better for next year.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I tell you, thanks for having me, John. I enjoy your show. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, my friend. Call again. Take care. Have a good one.
Will do.
Telling you, man. I don't think I get a lot of Notre Dame action from Oklahoma. That guy, Oklahoma, is where he's calling from. I don't get a lot of Notre Dame action on my channel from Oklahoma. Interesting. Mark. Mark with glasses. I'm booing both offenses at the spring game. I'm picturing it right now. We're sitting there. We drink beer all morning at the tailgate. Be there, by the way. John, what do you mean tailgate? Hell yeah, we're having the tailgate again. I don't know any details. I don't know none of it other than we're doing that again. It was too much fun. We're going to be there and have a big tailgate for Blue and Gold. All you guys got to come. And I could just see Mark eating his hot dog in the parking lot, drinking his beer, and then he's in there at the top of his lungs, totally standing at the top of stadium. Boo! Boo! The blue team, the gold team, boo! The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Don't even. I did a YouTube short on the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and I didn't release it yet because I didn't know if I was being a jerk or not. But now that I see this, I'll probably release it today. Pop-Tart Bowl. Insulting. Check that out. I got something for you. And then look at this. Luke, I'm going to give you credit on this one. You ain't wrong. John has lost thousands of dollars by Indy going 9-3 under Freeman. You're not wrong, Luke. He did another one where he said people don't donate when they're upset or something like that. You're right on this one. It's human psychology. It's human psychology. When people are in a good mood, they spend their money more. And when they're in a bad mood, they tighten up, man. That's just human nature. So I got to give you credit. You're not wrong on that one. It literally does go that way, man. You beat USC, everybody's in a good mood, donations are flying in. You start losing games and everybody's pissed off. Ain't nobody want to separate with their money then. That's just the way it goes. Pop-Tart Bowl. Apparently the mascot for the Pop-Tart Bowl, I'm not making this up. Apparently the mascot for the Pop-Tart Bowl is a literal edible Pop-Tart. And then if you win it, then the coach and the players get to eat this edible Pop-Tart or something. Dude, that's almost insulting. I'm serious. It's almost insulting. Like, are we down that bad that when we win a bowl game, instead of holding up a trophy, you get to eat an oversized Pop-Tart? Am I being an asshole or am I justified in saying that it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way, man? We did the Kelly Snuggie Camping World Bowl where it was just the lame little, oh, we're camping. Ooh. Can you play for something that matters? Like, I'm sorry. I don't have it in me to be like, oh my God, that's cute that we're eating off a Pop-Tart after the game. I want to play in games that matter. I want to play in games that matter. And the Pop-Tart Bowl don't move the needle, man. And it's a little, I'm thinking of like Michigan holding up trophies in the post-game season or something. And then I see that if we win our game, you might get a Pop-Tart to eat. A Pop-Tart to eat. That's what we're doing. That's what I do this shit for every single day in this basement. To win a bowl game, to eat a Pop-Tart as your reward. That's where we're at. We have not won a major bowl game since I was like 2 years old or something. Oh my God, Phil, you're a jerk. Phil, you're a jerk. Phil said that he would be sure Charlie Weiss would win this bowl game. That's mean. That's mean. Oh, yeah. Look, I hope it's literally, it should be a trophy with like a steak and there's just a Pop-Tart on it. And then Notre Dame shouldn't eat it. Bring it home and put it in the goog. Put it behind the glass. And it's just this old Pop-Tart on a stick. What's the actual trophy? Is it literally a stick and then like a bronze Pop-Tart? Dude, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I genuinely, it really is bothering me this week to think that there's like all these people playing for real shit. And then we're battling to see who might be able to eat a Pop-Tart. And your reward is a Pop-Tart. I'm like, it's kind of symbolic, but kind of proves the problem here. You're playing in shit that don't matter. And that rubs me the wrong way. Oh, the Camping World Bowl. I got my Snuggie. I'm in front of my tent. Ooh, punch me in the face. $618, what it do?
Hey, John, man. I want to talk about the receivers coach, man.
Perfect. I would love to do that. I would love it. You have the floor, my friend.
Man, he was a great recruiter, but man, we don't know if he was truly developing these receivers, man. I mean, like Merriweather was held back the first year, and Braylon James was held back this year. They said he runs like a deer, and we don't know what he was doing there for development, but he was a great recruiter.
I think people are saying, man, there was stuff going on behind the scenes and that there was issues and there was relationship, interpersonal issues, and some of it affected the offense and Hartman and all. Those are the rumors coming out. Maybe there was more going on behind the scenes interpersonally than we'll ever know. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think he was a great recruiter, but I don't think he was great at developing the receivers, man.
Hey, it seems like Marcus Freeman agrees with that. I don't know. Now, he did. Both things could be true, man. We can admit that Stuckey inherited a situation that was not in a healthy place, but then you could also say that he didn't do a good job improving it fast enough. I think both of those are reasonable to assume, maybe. I don't think you have to pick one or the other. Both of those could be true.
And remember, man, Stuckey wasn't his pick. Stuckey wasn't. That was Tommy Reed's pick.
Yeah, that's, man, I don't know. Where do you go from here, man? Where do you go from here? Like, I don't know. Maybe he has something in mind for wide receiver. Maybe he already knows his next move. Maybe we're starting from scratch, but maybe he knows. I don't know. Maybe he's got a plan.
I like the guy from A&M. I mean, the guy that's not going back to A&M. He did a pretty good job with the receivers that he had at A&M.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be really, really interesting. And the other part of this that I cannot get away from is you got a big game against a defensive mastermind right out of the gate next year, week 1. This offense has got to be up for that challenge and be able to put together a real offensive fight and a plan here in that game to start out the year. Like, there's no easy segue into this season next year. You're going to be playing some real athletes. And I know they got problems, but there's real athletes down there, and I trust Mike Elko. So you better figure this out this offseason in spring, because you need to bring a real offense to Texas week 1.
Yeah, man. And I kind of think, man, I don't believe that this was really the reason why I didn't have no problem with the OC getting the second year, because some of the, like I said, like Monday, man, this did not seem like his offense, man. It seemed like he was forced to run his offense.
And you know what, man? That's a question that we've had with I've had this question with Freeman and Parker. How much of this is what they want to run? How much of it is them feeling like they don't have the personnel to run what they really want to run, and they have to pare things down to be able to try and get by? I don't know the answer to that. Like, is there another whole hallway of this offense with a menu of different things you could do, but that they want to do, but they don't feel like we're there yet? That's always in my mind.
Yeah, and then back to the receiver coach. I mean, we was all saying that Merriweather will have a breakout season this year, and it just seemed like he digressed. It seemed like he was, we only seen very little of him in 22. And what we got to see him in 23, we were like, oh, no, this kid needs to transfer. But maybe it wasn't Merriweather.
And those, see, now you're getting into all that stuff behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on with the relationships and the development and what the problems were, why it didn't all connect. I don't know. And then what do you make of Tyree, man? What do you make of him leaving? What do you think was the impetus for that decision? That's another issue.
I don't know what that was, man. I would have loved to have Tyree back, man. I wish Freeman could talk to him one more time. Like, hey, man, maybe the problem is gone, man. Come back for one more year, and we'll get you where you need to be. But like I said, I like the guy from A&M, man. He developed some good receivers at A&M.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think that there's any scenario where Freeman does get rid of Parker, and this was a part of opening up that wide receiver thing. So whatever he wants to do next, he could bring that guy in. Do you think there's any scenario where that's in play right after the bowl game? Or I've had multiple people reach out to me and go, John, does this make sense with the timing and that would pull it all together? I'm just asking if that's reasonable or not. I have no idea. I have no idea.
We don't know what the receivers. We don't know what the receivers was actually going in there telling Freeman either, man. They could have been like, man, this ain't working, man. This coach ain't getting us. He ain't getting us where we need to be. I mean, he's great at recruit. He was great at recruiting us in, but he's not developing us where we need to be. I mean, all I heard was Braylon James was, might have been the better of the three, and we didn't see him not one time this year. I mean, like, how could that possibly happen if he's the better of the three freshmen? And
yeah,
and he's the faster of the three freshmen.
It's just tough. There's no easy answers or easy solutions to all this. Do you want LSU in a bowl game this year? Do you think that would be a good opportunity for Notre Dame, or do you think they're asking for trouble in a year where they don't have the squad for it? What do you think?
At this point, it don't even matter who they get. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're going to get LSU. I think LSU going to find their way into a New Year's Six bowl game. I don't think they'll get LSU.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going on in this bowl game. And so I don't know, man. I think I defaulted late last night in my mind to just having to accept the fact that there's a lot that goes on here, and I am not privy to all that information. And the only thing you could do, you can either believe Freeman has a vision and trust what he's doing, or you can not believe that and say, let's see what happens. Either way, there's just information we don't know. And you got to kind of ride with Freeman's vision and hope it pays off. Man. Oh, baby.
Maybe some way we get Hardline get tired of not being held back and can't call plays, and maybe Freeman on the phone with him telling him, hey, man, just wait till after the bowl game. And
hey, man, that's his old road dog. They're Ohio State guys, man. They're like thick as thieves, man. That should be his dude.
Like, dude, you can have this offense, man. We just need to score points.
Man, you tell him, come here and get us right, and then go get yourself a big ed job. Give me a couple years to build that shit out.
Man, the last thing is, man, I still don't think we need a portal quarterback unless we're going to get a depth guy, man, because let's go ahead and develop these guys that we got unless Parker and what's name don't trust them guys, man. Let's go and develop these guys that we got. Go ahead and win with these guys. Do you know how huge it'd be for us if Minchie or Carr, Minchie in his sophomore year or Carr in his freshman year go out and win? And because next year's schedule is soft, man. I mean, I don't care who the coach is at A&M. They always overrated. So I don't care who the coach is at A&M, man. I don't see them winning a lot of games, and I see Notre Dame going down there. I don't see them scoring a lot of points against Elko, but I think they beat, unless you go out and get an offensive coordinator that's creative, man. You got to be creative as an offensive coordinator. You got to be 5 steps ahead of everything. And that's something that Notre Dame offensive coordinators have never been in the last 2 decades.
Yeah, it's just, hey, I don't know if this is true or not, man, but people are saying Leonard's going to be Notre Dame bound. He's starting to follow the entire ND roster on social media. I don't know if that's real or not. I'm just telling you, somebody's putting it in the chat.
We don't need that either, man. Let him stay at Duke or let him follow Elko, man. We're cool at what we got, man.
I think they want 4. They want 4, man, because they want 4
You're going to start turning kids off. I mean, you're going to see the best quarterbacks look at Notre Dame and say, man, why in the world should I go there when they just don't go and grab a portal quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's just a lot. There's a lot to consider and a lot of moving parts here. You don't know what we don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And
we don't know if Leonard is better than anything we got.
Yeah, it would be a competition. I think that would set up differently than when Hartman pretty much had the job. I don't care what anybody says. It was never really a competition. They borderline told them, you're going to have the job. I think this would be different. I think this would be more of an actual competition. So I don't know.
If that's the case, bring Buckner back.
Yeah, I bring him back, man. Let's get them legs running. Instead of holding a clipboard. Instead of holding a clipboard. How fulfilling could it be for him this year? Honestly, you went down there and got to do nothing almost. Like, how fulfilling could that be in your football life?
Man, that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, man. The offense looked terrible. And he didn't get a chance to play none but one game.
Yeah, that was rough. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of moving parts. I don't have the answers. We got to wait and see, but Marcus has got to get it all tightened up.
Yeah, because I think next year they could. I mean, with that schedule, they should go undefeated. They should finish up undefeated.
Didn't you
I don't
say
know
that
who they
this
make for
year
their
too, though? Didn't you tell me that in August this year too? Oh, John, Ohio State, don't worry about them. Now look at you. You're on it again. You're on it again.
It was disappointing. It was a more of an offense I thought would have been way a lot better than what I thought it was this year. And Hartman is who he is, man. I mean, the Ohio State game they should have won. Marcus messed up with 10 guys on the field. I mean, I don't know if it would have made a difference to have 11 guys, but he still messed up with 10 guys.
Couldn't have hurt. It couldn't have hurt.
Yeah, it couldn't have hurt.
Right? Wouldn't have hurt to have all the guys out there allowed.
The Louisville game was a disaster.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
The Louisville and Clemson game was a disaster.
Dude, once Hartman threw that interception against Louisville when they were driving the ball to open the game, everybody in Notre Dame went, here we go. It's going to be one of them nights. Here we go right now. I've seen it before. Here we go. It's going to be one of them evenings. And I'll be damned if it wasn't.
The only time I ever seen Parker really open up the offense if they were down by a whole lot. Then he started opening up the offense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta. That's a big problem I've had with the offense. Is it seems like the better the competition, the more vanilla everything we do is, and I almost think it has to be the other way around. To beat a really good defense, you have to do a little more, not less.
Yeah, yep. And I was looking at that. I was like, man, I go back and watch the game against Clemson. He started opening up the offense way too late, man. Like, it's way too late to open up the offense now.
Nope, I'm with you. The plans against any good defense were so conservative, it almost gave us no chance. We were playing in like a 5-yard box, and it was bad. I don't even want to think about it.
And I never forget against Clemson. I mean, I'm talking about, man, Estimate is running it down their throat, and then they just completely went away from Estimate.
Yeah, there's a lot of that don't make sense to me. But the big game offensive plan, Buzz's girlfriend, woof. Don't like it, didn't like it, hated it, made me sad.
But we're blaming, and before I get off, man, Notre Dame fans, we're blaming and we hate this guy, Parker, but we don't know if this was truly Parker offense, man. It might have been it seemed like Parker was on the phone. It was the same offense that Tommy Reese ran at. That wasn't fair to Parker, but I don't know if Parker said, hey, I'm going to run this offense, but, man, this was not his offense. You can't pay me to believe that this was his offense.
Yeah, it's been in my mind, man. I was thinking maybe Freeman and Parker want to run stuff way more advanced, and they just don't feel like they could this year for a lot of different reasons. I'm hopeful there's an entire avenue of this offensive effort that we just haven't seen because they didn't think they could do it. If not, then I'm concerned. This offense doesn't scare anybody. This offense does not test or scare anybody with the defensive pulse at all. It's predictable and it's easy to stop. You know what we're going to do. We don't do anything surprising, nothing tricky, nothing to even move your eyes. Everything is pretty basic.
And, man, hopefully Cam Williams, man, he come in and be a difference maker from day one, man.
I mean, yeah, I would hope so. Gipper says that scored 39 a game. Yeah, they did. with 80 of them each coming against all the high school teams, and then almost nothing against the 4 good defenses. That's the problem here. I don't care if you score 80 against Navy, score more than 14 against Ohio State. Jesus, I'm not falling for the 39 a game. It's 19 against any defense from Earth. That's a failure. Not good enough.
Yeah, and I thought 14 was good enough to beat Ohio State.
Well, it was until there was 1 second left.
Yeah, it was 1 second where we got 10 men on the
you shouldn't be in that
field.
position at all, is my point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm
And
gonna
it's a home
I'm gonna
game,
stroke
too, man.
out, bro. I'm telling you, I'm going to stroke out in this chair one of these days. This Notre Dame stuff's going to be the end of me.
I'm just going to go into the spring and see what it is, man. But I can say that the schedule looked like we can go undefeated, but I don't know what. Man, it's Notre Dame, man. It's like, man, every year we get our hopes up high, and then they lose a game that they don't have no business losing.
Yeah. It's a wild ride, my friend. And we got a lot of drama to come here. Let's figure out who's staying, who's going, what if there's any more coaches staying or going. I think there's a lot more going to go on here than we realize. So let's see.
Don't get rid of that running back coach, man. Whatever you do, keep him around.
People are always going to be after him, and I'm worried maybe the NFL could lure him away. I think you're on bought time with him. He's an odd name.
Yeah, man. I think the only thing I can think you could do with him, man, is you got to say, hey, Parker, we got to switch some things up, man, and make him the OC.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Freeman has a bigger vision with all this that maybe we're just not capable of seeing, but he has a vision of where this is going. And then I guess all you could do is hope he figures it out and makes the right decisions. I don't know what else to do.
And I think the new AD, man, is going to be more on Freeman's side, man. We might see some better things to come, man. But it's a possibility. I'm not going to say it is, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. I would. I hope you're right, my friend. I hope you're right. But give me a call next time something else happens.
All right, my man.
Have a good day. There you go. Troll sniper. Points per game dropped to 14 against ranked opponents. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. This is Notre Dame. I am not going to base if we're good at offense or not on what you do against Central Michigan and Wake and Stanford and Pitt. I'm not doing it. When you play good teams, you cannot win scoring 14 a game. It's not good enough. 19 a game is, you're not beating the good teams doing that. You need an offense that could, let me ask this. Why has Notre Dame never won a big game, like the biggest game on its schedule or whatever it is, or a big bowl game, whatever it is? Why has Notre Dame never won a big game? And we get on here and go, hot damn, Notre Dame's offense won the biggest game of the year. I've never said that in my entire life. Like, does it not upset anyone that if Notre Dame ever accomplishes anything good, it's all got to be on the strength of the defense or the special team making a play? Why do we never win the biggest game? And I'm going, man, look at Notre Dame's quarterback owning the day, threading the needle to beat Ohio State. Why is it never on the offense? It's all on the defense or we lose. They got to do everything. You got to drag the offense along. Like, why is it a foreign concept for me to ever go, oh my God, Notre Dame's offensive line literally dominated the best team we played O-line you, and powered us to victory. Never happened. It's never happened. Even Clemson last year, that was primarily defense and special teams set up that blowout. USC this year, defense and special teams set up that result to a large extent. Like, I am waiting for the year Notre Dame's offense is the reason we're winning big games. All of the pressure cannot be on the defense for the rest of time. Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's that much to ask. I just never. Why can't Notre Dame have an offense that is the reason why you win the biggest games? Anyone that we've gotten, it's all on the D. Like, you got Notre Dame offenses and you have Notre Dame quarterbacks over the years where it felt like if you won, you had to dread. It was like in spite of the offense and in spite of the quarterback. It almost felt like we had to overcome the quarterback and the offense to get a win. Do Notre Dame fans realize how messed up that is in our brains? That it always kind of feels like you had to, that the offense didn't blow it for you, but they weren't the reason they won it for you. That is not right. There's no reason Notre Dame cannot have really good offense and a really good defense at the same time. Not against Navy, not against CMU, not against shit Pitt. The better teams you play. I am not interested in bragging about games you should win anyways. This is Notre Dame. That does not move the needle for me. It should not move the needle for you to brag about our points per game average against Central Michigan. Talk to me what it's like when you play Duke and Mike Elkow. Talk to me about how many points and yards you're putting up against Ohio State. Talk to me about how good of an offense you bring down to Death Valley and put a stake through the heart of Dabo and Clemson. Talk to me about those. Don't talk to me about how many points you're scoring against Pitt and Wake and Stanford without the smirk. Talk to me about those. You know, it's been pissing me off, Phil. Phil's trying to get me mad. Phil, you know what you're going to make me do? Go upstairs and chug that bottle of liquor your wife gave me at the tailgate. I still got some of that, Phil. She hand-delivered me the goods. You're making me want to go upstairs and pound that thing. $39 points per game. Here's the thing Notre Dame PR doesn't realize. Notre Dame PR has been on a mission talking about Notre Dame had 2 top 10 units. Number 9 points per game scored, 39. Number 9 points per game allowed. I think it's 16.5 or something defensively. And they're saying this is historic that Notre Dame has 2 top 10 units, you know, on both sides of the ball, and look at how well-rounded we are and all that. That ain't the flex you think it is, Notre Dame. It ain't the flex you think it is. You want to brag about having 2 top 10 units? You're sitting there with 3 losses, about to be in a bowl game where you get a Pop-Tart if you win it. That ain't a flex. How is that a flex? Oh, look at this. 2 top 10 units. That's historic. Oh, yeah. How'd the year go? You're going to win a Pop-Tart. Dude, bro, it's enough to make you lose your... I almost said it's enough to make you lose your mind. They're putting out tweets bragging about having 2 top 10 units. If you have 2 top 10 units, you know what you should have? 0 losses or 1 loss and be in playoff contention. It is not a flex to brag about having 2 top 10 units and you're sitting there with 3 losses. You're sitting there maybe going to be in a playoff in a Pop-Tart bowl, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You can't tell me I'm the one out of line when you tell me we had 2 top 10 units and I say, how in the hell did you lose 3 games then? Telling you, this Notre Dame stuff, it's going to make me lose my mind. Like, I'm well on my way. Having a stroke would be good for ratings on the plus side. Oh, I know that. It's just if I stroke too much, I'm not going to be able to get any more ratings because it could be one and done. You know what's funny? Think about this. You guys, I'm cracking up. I think we've reached a part in the year where you broke me. I think I'm losing my mind right now. I do. I think we finally got here to this point. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm losing my marbles. Think about this. I'm on the show having a stroke, yelling about something. And I know that I have like family and live with people. But what if I'm live and I stroked out and I lived alone and I just stroked out Weekend at Bernie's style, but my stream's going live forever? But I'm just here and nobody ever looks for me, but my stream is live forever and everybody gets on YouTube and they see John's live. My channel's live, but I'm just here for like a year. Weekend at Bernie's, it's Weekend at Johnny's. My arms are moving. Maybe they could play an old clip of my voice and like I move my arms to yell. Weekend at Bernie's, Johnny edition. Oh my God. John would have 30K viewers if he was in the chair passed out. Yeah, but people want me beyond passed out. Half of them. Half of this own fan base doesn't even like me because I'm not their type of delivery. I'm fine with it. I know I'm not for everybody. Half of this fan base can't stand me just because the way I deliver is not the way they like to receive information. And I understand that. I could be a bit abrasive at times. Sorry. It's how I deliver the info, baby. All right. This is, oh my God, Adam. Dude, Adam, don't do this. You're a jerk, Adam. Don't do this. Don't do this. Adam's been playing these games with me, man. He's been playing these games. He'll text me out of nowhere. 39 points per game, John. Off to the races. 39. He'll text me out of nowhere. John, 39 points. Why isn't that good enough for you? Why do you have these unrealistic standards? All that. Adam, you're trying to... Come on, buddy. Don't do it to me. Jacob Saylor, $2 holler. Worst units in college football that have better records. Iowa. Yeah. It's a very, you know what? That's actually a very, very good point. At least they're 10-2, right? Very good point. What happens if you lose the Pop-Tart? I don't know. Maybe you have to eat a toaster strudel. Maybe, right? Maybe if you lose, you get a toaster strudel instead, and the winning side gets a Pop-Tart with all the frosting and fixins. I don't know. Oh, man. Let's go back through these. $2 holler. Ryan Elliott, thank you for that. Appreciate it, man. Pay for a phone call. Somebody yelling at me. The $5 holler from Willie B. Artigan. Personal problem. Can't answer that for you. Go to the doctor. Or buy those pills you see on the late night commercials. I don't know. Chief with the $2 holler. Thank you. Michigan doing more in a pass game with less talent. $2 holler from Zach.32. Here in the wide receiver room was toxic. Locker room issues. I cannot verify that, but that's the word on the streets. That's it. All right. That's going to be it for the show. I am glad that there's energy with all this. I just wish it was for different reasons. I do. Like when I'm talking about this Stanford game, I'm not getting 230 people in here. It's just because of all the drama, man. Drama moves the needle. It just, I hate it, but drama moves the needle. Has Goolsby been given enough attention for saying that Hartman wouldn't be good enough to overcome coaching deficiencies? Goolsby feels like he was on the I don't understand why Hartman gets so much hype thing since last January or whenever it was he came. And he didn't ever think he would be that guy that could raise the bar or whatever. And it's like, does Mike want to be right, but Notre Dame's not good, or be wrong and Notre Dame's good, right? That's where he ended up. Adam, I swear to God, bro, dude. Adam, we're going to have to go drink some beer. I can't, you're killing me here. We're going to have to go drink some beer. I just can't do it. I can't do it. 39 a game. The funny part is the only other team, this is the second highest scoring average Notre Dame's ever had. And the number one was from 1912. They averaged like 40 points a game or 42. Did they even throw the ball then? I think that was before they even threw it. So what did they do? Just line it, run the ball over everybody? I love it. I love it. $10 holler from the Beef Eater. Merry Christmas, John. If you spend your time being grateful for everything good in your life, you won't have time to be angry. What a nice message. I genuinely mean that. That's a nice perspective. That's a nice perspective. That is a very mature message. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could live that way, but I like your message. I agree with it. I like your perspective. I just don't know if I have the maturity to navigate it and be that way, man. And I do try and be grateful of things. It's just, I need Notre Dame to win. I need Notre Dame to win. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends, relative health. But I need Notre Dame to win to feel like everything's fine in my life. And win. And I don't mean like, oh my God, you beat Navy. Let's throw a damn parade. Oh, you blew out CMU. Cool. Let me get the ribbon. No. I need Notre Dame to be elite. I need Notre Dame to have national respect. I need people to go, damn it, I hate Notre Dame, but they're good. That's what I need out of this. I need national respect. I want people to hate Notre Dame because they're good. That's my dream. Will it ever happen before I weekend at Bernie myself sitting here? Who knows? All right. I think I'm going to hang up on this show. Maybe drink a coffee or something. Let it stew for a minute and then record an episode to post tomorrow. Man, that's what I need. I just need Notre Dame to be really good. Like national respect. Isn't that what this is all for? National respect. Lou said it. What I want more than anything else is respect. Respect around the country. And you don't get respect around the country in modern football playing like anus against any team with a defensive pulse. wake up and get real about being good at football, or quit acting like you're even trying to be. Oh my God. Yes, Adam, this backfired on Adam, and now people think he's serious. Yes, that's what you get, Adam. That's what you get for trying to jumpstart a heart attack on me now. Yeah, everybody, Adam thinks, no, Adam, I'm going to delete that comment. Adam thinks the offense is awesome and no changes need to be made. He loves it, and he doesn't know how anybody could be mad. How do you like that, Adam? $5 olive from Sailor Jerry. Adam, respectfully, brother, points don't matter. Washington averaged less, and they're probably going to the playoff. There you go, Adam. There you go, Adam. Adam, everybody yell at Adam. He loves the Notre Dame offense, and he told me the plan against Duke was the best plan he's seen all year, and the way we played against Louisville was great. All right. I'm going to go have a coffee. I'm going to take some deep breaths. I'm going to process some of this. And then I'm going to record some for you guys to watch tomorrow going over all this. Serenity now. You know me, Captain Serenity. Dude, how do I not have a deal, an advertising deal, with some yoga studio or like some gummies you eat that relax you? Not weed gummies, but like some gummies that relax you. Like, how do I not have a deal with some like Serenity product or like coaching thing? I just feel like I'd be the perfect case study. All right. This has been a arduous and adventurous journey today. I love the excitement. Oh, I need Life Alert for sure, Mark. Get it so I can put it on here and walk around with it. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'll be laying there all sideways. All right. I'll see you guys later. This is all over the map. I love Notre Dame, but man, it's wild. I'll talk to you guys. Be good.